Alrighty, here we go. Um, okay, so something I discovered, the reason why the animations weren't working is because for some reason, when they've been re-imported, their loop status had been reset. Even though they have underscore loop at the end of them, and Godot has removed the word loop from the name, which means it acknowledged it, this loop icon was disabled on all the animations that were supposed to be looping. So I enabled it, and it did save it, and it is working again. So I guess that's basically all that we needed to do. Now, here's the problem that I'm discovering at this point. This is our idle loop. Now we have other things that we need um, to work with besides this. We have scripted animations, one-time animations, which have to be taken care of, and in order for me to do that, I might have to use a whole bunch of these blend nodes to make that work, or I might have to start with a different type of resource as the topmost resource here. Instead of the blend tree, I would do something a bit different. Let me see if I can save this as a file. Might have to do an state machine, animation tree state machine for this. Okay, so let's see here. Animations, this is blend tree, and then this would be player idle. Okay, let's try state machine. Okay, and then what do we have here? We can add, we can load our, let's see, blend tree. There we go. So we can load this blend tree, which is going to be idle blend tree. And I think that's basically what we need to do. Now, we need to transition between these. What do we have here? We have to figure out how to actually operate this thing. Create new nodes. That's basically the same thing as right-clicking, which seems kind of redundant. Let's say that we need to have an animation, which is going to be insert hydrogen cell. Okay. Medium. And then insert hydrogen cell small. I have no idea how this... Okay. So we click play, and that causes the animation to play. And then in the end, it would have to go to idle. So all these three will have to go to the idle state. Let's see how that looks. So small cell. Hello? No? Okay, start. And then we go here. X fade time. I think this is the fade speed of how fast it's going to be transitioning, which maybe because it's set to 0 seconds means that, yeah. Okay, so that's it transitioning from the animation to this, but I don't want it to transition immediately. At the end is when I want it to transition. So I think we have to do this on these. At end, sleepy mushroom, hello. Okay, at end, and then at end. There we go. So now this plays. And then it transitions to the end. Not bad. So a new underwater game. Was there another underwater game that I was working on before? Or are you talking about among the sea of other underwater games that other people are working on? Okay, yeah, that looks like that's working. Okay. Well, that's good. Except we also need to do the extract cell. Okay. At end. Connect that back to idle. Cool. Sea of. Okay, well, this is my inspiration from Subnautica, and also the fact that I wanted to play some flight stick simulator games and discovered that a lot of games that have flight in them don't actually support flight sticks. So I'm like, well, that sucks. Basically, spent a bunch of money on a flight controller that I can't use in all of the amazing games that are out there. So I guess whatever, we'll just make my own. And besides the point, it is a theme. The underwater survival genre. That's just the theme. It is what's important is what you wrap around it, which in my case it's a story. And my own interpretation on some mechanics. Okay, this is fine. How do we now transition this sucker? Let's see here. So this is state machine. Animation, not state machine. That's what we're looking for. Okay. Contains multiple animation root nodes representing animation states connected in a graph. State transitions can be configured to happen automatically or via code using a shortest path algorithm. Retrieve state machine playback object from animation tree node to control it pragmatically. Okay, that's cool. So animation get playback. And then once we get the playback, that's when we control it. So I guess let's see about doing this first. Oh yeah, another motivation for this project is because I wanted to combine. I want to make a game that is both VR and desktop compatible without shortcutting or cutting corners, so to speak, on certain functionalities, so that the VR mode is actually intuitively designed specifically for VR, around the VR mechanics, rather than just taking the desktop mechanics and slapping VR on top of it. And that is supposed to be a practice run for the project that is coming in the future. So, better explore that stuff here rather than in the main project, and learn the things that I need to learn. Animation state. Let's do on ready. Animation tree. Get something. Get parameters playback. Interesting. Okay. What a fascinating approach. Okay, so that gives us the animation state. Which means we should be able to control it. Let's see, where do we launch the insertion? Retract controls, deploy controls. That's a different animation. player alignment node. Okay, so here we do extract, and then here we do insert. So we do anim state. Anim state gives us whatever the heck that is. Node state machine playback. And then we can do travel to tell it to go somewhere. Okay. Although, let's hope this works. Travel. And then it is going to be traveling to this animation. Alrighty. The only problem is that it's not really connected. So I don't know if that's going to really even work. Okay, and then this thing, right, the path to these properties has changed. We are now in idle. So we have to go through idle. Okay, not bad. Okay, still complaining. Ah, right, parameters comes first. Okay, let's double check that. Idle, idle swim blend, swim. Cool. Except it's not capitalized. Oh, no, still crashing. Okay. Well, get index and base animation tree. Okay, what's different? Let's see. Parameters, idle. Idle swim blend. Blend amount. That's this one. Literally the same. Okay, so, oh, right. We have two of them. Because with smooth transitioning. There we go. Lovely. Okay. I don't know what I'm looking at. Start? I guess start has to be connected to something, which is, I think, idle. Aha. All right. Take that. And then... Huh. Well, it did play it. It did play it, but it didn't execute a bunch of other stuff. Also, what is this? Generate cluster. Okay, we've seen this error a whole bunch of times, but this is only meant for what? This shouldn't be running when it's in the game, is it? Maybe. If it is, editor hint not, return. Okay. 329 errors. This should cut it down. 197. Cool. Pick that up. Interact. So that seems to work. The only problem is the hand. It doesn't seem to spawn in the item that we're depositing. We do have that function call. But this is for let go of the hydrogen cell. We are missing the part where it spawns it in. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna find a way to disable the warnings, the errors. GUI, timers, common, Collada. Debug. Okay. So this is unused. Unused parameter. Ignore. We're not using the parameter. I don't want you telling me about it. Okay. A whopping 171 issues. Local function parameter. Chunk. Chunk blob. Okay, this is a outdated model. These are the most annoying ones because we have to go into each model and export it again. Surface or models, locations, chunk blob. Ah. Yeah. It's kind of a massive one. I'm gonna open chunk blob. Oh, interesting. Uses old surface format. Needs to be upgraded. Let's see if this works. Engine, models, locations, chunk blob. Dang it. We need to make sure that we export Godot. Well, this is curious. If we use the Godot preset, something about it seems to slow down our importing process. That's curious. Come on. Okay, in the meantime. Oh, that might actually break a bunch of stuff. Because if it's in the middle of exporting, and then Godot's in the middle of importing, before it finishes exporting, it might have some problems. Let's hold off on the importing part. Yep. Thank you. I don't want to override it. Okay, that was done in Godot 4. Blender 4. Okay. Well, it's here. Let's go to the sandbox. Then this right here was the block chunk block. Got a whole bunch of them. Okay, we had 171 errors, and now we have only 23. Cool. We'll just bring this back, run it with it. Okay, good. So only 23 errors. What do we have here? A lot of it are just warnings. H-Terrain Resource Loader. Are we using H-Terrain? Are we using Terrain 3D? Why is it still trying to load H-Terrain? Man, it's one of those issues. Okay, let's do a search. So this is H-Terrain. No, really? Just nothing. Load source code. H-Terrain is not here. What are you talking about? Modules. That's C++ file. And another one. Attempt to open script H-Terrain. File not found. Okay. Godot. Deleted plugin. Uninstalling freaking plugin. Oh no. Dialogic. Someone had an issue with it. Why did deleted scripts remain on nodes? Godot remembers all deleted plugins. You can clear your .godot directory as one attempt, maybe rename it instead as a backup. If you have a text search replace tool, you can clear your skeleton through the... Okay. So it looks like deleting the .godot folder is one way. All right. I'm gonna push to GitHub before I do this. Actually, no, the .godot folder is not a part of GitHub. We exclude it. All right, cool. Here we go. Sublunaris. Engine. Sayonara. Some extensions need the editor to restart. Restart. Hope it's not a boot loop. Okay. Let's make sure we load the main scene now. I guess that's what we're waiting for. Hey. Okay. Let's run it. Oh, okay. We got 9 warnings now. They're all warnings too, no errors. That's good. Okay. Local function parameter. Shadowing already declared variable. This is mapping menu. Action entry to map. Declared on line 6. Huh. Okay. I guess that makes sense. And if we're doing one here, then it has to use this one. Just go ahead and call it this. All right. Action to map. Where's this one? Action to map. Just making sure that the function parameter doesn't match the variable. Position. Right. Input event, camera event, position, normal, shape index. The shit? Event found. That's in the player, and we're not doing anything with it either. Okay. Body entered. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, well, we're not doing anything with it, so be gone. Okay, parameter name. Button pressed name. Okay. Looks like we're only using it here. Call it Nutten name. Button name. There we go. There we go. And then I think the same thing's happening here, because name is a built-in property of the node. Okay, let's try that again. 4 warnings. Local variable L is declared but never used. Fascinating. On body entered. Okay, that's fine. And then T is declared below in the parent block. Right. This is where we redeclared the tween. Yeah, but guess what? It's declared in an if statement, so I can't reuse it here, you dumb shit. Interesting. Sure. Call this. Two warnings. Actually, can we do this? Usually putting an underscore in front of a parameter. The parser can't know your if statement logic. Well, that may be true, but it does know that a variable declared within an if statement does not exist outside of the scope of that if statement, right? Update shader. Okay, so this one, height map, what is this? Sand ground, base color diffuse. Materials packs sand ground T-res. Height map is not supported at triplanar materials. Ignoring height map in favor of triplanar mapping. That makes sense. Sand 59. Then the variable with the same outside of the if statement. Oh no, that would be correct. If that was the case, then yeah, I wouldn't be able to use it that way. Okay, no height map for sand. Okay. Hallelujah. For once in my entire game dev career with Godot, I have a clean debugger. For how long, however? Okay, I need to fix up the swimming animations are calling the function that pushes us forward with each forward stroke. But the left, right, and backwards also do the forward stroke, so we need to quickly fix that up. Okay, swim back. And we can't see it because the tree. Okay. Cool. Let's do call method. Swim forward, except we don't want to swim forward. We want to swim back. Is it BK? Yeah, oh, backwards, BW. Okay. And then that's good. Let's go swim left. The thing that might be a problem with this approach, and the problem is that because we're using a blend mode, it is going to call all four swimming animations at the same time. So we're effectively going to get nowhere fast. Maybe. Let's see. Oh, well. It would help if I re-enable my state machine. Yep. It's just pushing us in all four directions. God damn it. Oh, man. Okay. Well, that's a problem. If we're using a state machine, it plays all four animations at the same time. And if the call method track gets executed, then we don't really know which one's which. Okay, we could base this on our velocity. Not velocity specifically, but our direction vector. Because the direction vector knows which way the flow goes. Movement, target vector. Problem is that this is a local variable. We could just call this again inside. Okay. I suppose if that's the case, we didn't really need the first parameter, but it's a bit late now. Do this if it's higher than 0. Do this if it's lower than 0. Left, do x if it's lower than 0. And then do y if it's higher than 0. Or x if it's higher than 0. Okay. Little annoying, but it is what it is. Okay. That's working. Oh. Aha. Backward is a little messed up. We're doing negative times negative speed. Well, we're doing that already. Okay. Let's give that a test. Yeah, okay, that's just pushing us forward. Also, maybe right here. And then for the left and right, oh, maybe I should put a piece of code that enables the animation tree. So I don't think we'll ever have a case when we don't have it active. We're already stuck using... Hey, nice. We're already stuck using the state machine for the animation tree. Okay. Not bad. Man, I really like the fact that these thrusts are synchronized to the animation. That works pretty well. Although that thrust seems a little weird. It's the forward thrust. Hmm. Yeah, that seems a little late. And that was it pushing us forward. Okay. That is weird. Do I have a debugger panel? I think we do. Def panel. Beautiful. Player state. Let's do player direction. Let's do key direction. player dot, and you see this is where we're probably going to have to make that local variable into a global one. Okay, with that in place, we can go back to the dev panel and then request that variable. Okay, -1, +1. 1, +1, -1. Oh, now that's curious. But that kind of makes sense because -z is the forward axis. Okay. So, if y is less than 0, this is more than 0. It's one of those Godot gotchas you gotta be careful about. It still pushes me forward. Oh, we have a double negative. There we go. Now here's something I wanna figure out. We want to make it so that the player's vision is slightly blurry when we're out and about like this, at a distance. Which can be done by looking at the camera and taking a look at the attributes, and then the far distance can be set up like this. Now it's between 156 and 80. 150 and 80. Okay. Easy peasy. Think we have a camera control event? Not quite. Camera control event is a part of the input. So let's do func. Whoa, easy. Let's not nuke everything. Hold on a sec. Do we not have a process function for camera? Interface process? I guess we don't. Pass along delta. All right, so what are we doing here? Talk to the camera. Attributes. And then we want to get to attributes and DOF underscore blur underscore far distance. Distance. Okay. We're going to make it smoothly transition to either 150 if inside vessel, else 80 and then subtract the current value, divide by 20. Okay. There we go. So that makes it nice. I really need to redo these textures here. Okay, now, can we return to the problem at hand, now that we fixed this whole issue? And the problem at hand is the fact that there's no animation. Well, the animation is there, but there's no spawning of the container. Now, why is that? Insert if animation name. That's a check. Okay. Insert fuel receptacle. Okay, so we do tell it to travel. Oh, that didn't last long. Local variable movement target color, shadowing already declared variable. Right. Okay. Nip that in the bud. Immediately. Okay. So, we create a tween. We spawn in a rigid body. Set the remote path. Set the remote path of the held item remote node, but we did change. Okay. I think I know what might happen. When we had created the new armature and then re-imported not re-imported, we created a new armature for the wrist twist and a different control scheme. There's supposed to be a bone meant for holding an item, and that bone was not copied, not created. And I think it might be too late to grab it. Sublinaris FPS hands. Don't save this. Okay. The retarget, all the contents of retarget are gone. We deleted that, so we don't have that anymore. There was supposed to have been an item bone in this hand. Okay. That's wrist R. And then this is item R. It is supposed to be non-deform, not connected. Okay, now I'm gonna try to do something crazy right now. I hope it's not going to break completely everything there is to it, but let's try this. Where's my Sublinaris repository? Okay. So, here's the Sublinaris repository. We have exported the new player hands GLTF file here. What I'm going to do, there it is. FPS hands, okay. We still have the blend file. I'm going to discard changes. Yes. Now, the most important part right now is not to open Godot Engine, because it would be like, oh, changes, let me get those in for you, sir. Let's not do that. Let's go retarget. We're going to file, import, GLTF, engine, models, player, FPS hands, the old ones. Okay, yep. That looks like the old one. Okay. What's next? Well, next, inside of this armature, there's a bone called item wrist item right. Inside of this armature, there's a bone which is going to be called wrist item right. Yes. Okay. We are going to go into the bone pose mode. Bone copy transforms. This needs to be called imported armature. Again. Okay. Remote transform, imported armature, item wrist right. Uh-huh. Now, so we're going to tell this to be extract hydrogen large. Good. This one, extract hydrogen large. Yes. Okay. And then you can see that bone is now springing into action. So I'm going to select the bone. We need to know how long the animation is. So this is about 148. Yes. So now that bone is copying the old animation contents. We're going to go animation, bake action, visual keying, only selected bones from 0 to 48, and overwrite current action. Beautiful. So that motion has now been recorded. Now, let's go back here. Extract hydrogen cell medium. Okay, so you see the item bone position has changed. Medium, this one. Because different hydrogen cells have different positioning within the receptacle. Okay. I think it's 148. Yes. Okay, good. Extract small. Small is longer. 165. Okay. Extract small. Beautiful. Okay. And then there's only 3 more animations we need to do this with. We need insert large. Good. Insert medium. Insert small. Okay. Yes, you see that item bone is now firmly in place. Good. Okay. Now, we get rid of the copy transforms. And then we need to get rid of this as well. Almost. Okay, saved it. So, hopefully, if I export this now, engine, models, player, FPS hands, and delay, on delay. Hopefully everything will be okay. Come on. Any day now. Come on, nobody. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. And logic would dictate, I think the Godot bone attachment node should catch on that the bone is back. Yes! Nice. Oh, not nice. What the shit? What? What happened? What are you doing? Okay, and then we're stuck. Oh boy. Okay. Is this a problem with all of them? At least it tried. Let's try this large. Okay. Interesting. Okay, my first place would be to check the animation itself. So let's go here. We have held item right, which did reattach itself. Okay. Let's try hydrogen cell large. And that means the animation that we have to play, insert cell large. Okay. Now, the fact that it kind of teleports down technically makes sense because we have an item release function being called, which releases the hand, right? It releases the hydrogen cell from being bound to the hand. Now let's double check. Is this where it starts spazzing out? Let's take a look. Insert let go. Let's put a print. Actually, let's do breakpoint. Let's go ballistic. What the? Oh, right. Should probably get rid of the one that I placed inside. Doesn't matter which one we do. Nope. No. Okay, so it goofs up before, which kind of tells me it looks like rigid body shenanigans to me, to be honest. Let's see. It looks like it's just colliding with the player. And or insert fuel receptacle gives us the reference to the receptacle. We have a tween. This moves us into place, aligns us for the animation. We set the collision layer, freeze to true. I don't see any errors. Collision exceptions with self, and we with the fuel cell. Add child, remote path. Okay. Let's take a look at the hydrogen cell script. Let's see, this is the large one. So let's focus on the large one. We'll give it a label. label 3D. We're going to tell this label to always be on top. No depth test. Always face us. Debug label. Okay, so func process if has node debug label, tell debug label text to display the freeze state, preferably string version. Okay. False. True. And then it still bugs out. Now, that could potentially be it bugging out with the ship collision shape. Which means our fuel cell receptacle has to know what ship it is attached to. We have the reference to the receptacle, but does the receptacle have a reference to the ship? Let's see. This is going to be the salutation. I mean, technically, calling getOwner should give us the top node. These things are not dynamically spawned, so getOwner should yield it. My getOwner. Okay. When we interact with when the player interacts with us, we insert self. We send self into the fuel receptacle, extract or insert. So when we insert, we know that we're interacting with this receptacle, so we should be able to also get the ship. Okay, so we do receptacle.myOwner, and then that is us talking to the ship itself, which is the rigid body. Which means we should be able to tell it to ignore collisions with the fuel cell. Okay. Now, how do we do that? Rigid body 3D, which is a physics body, which has add collisions exceptions with. And then what are we accepting? We're accepting the fuel cell. And that's supposed for good measure. The fuel cell has to accept the ship. Okay. Nope. Let's double check something. Visible collision shapes. Let's see if there's any collision markers. I mean, there is some stuff here. Nope. And then we're stuck here. So that means... That means what? We're never actually let go. We have the animation finished signal here. And I don't think that this, yeah, no, the signal is there, but I don't know if it ever fires. I have a sneaky suspicion that it never fires because it's being controlled by the animation tree. But that's a separate issue. It's the fact that when we're done inserting something, it doesn't actually let us go. Swimming. Yeah, okay. So that never runs. That's lovely. Are you certain it's a collision issue? Not anymore. Well, maybe. I don't see any collision markers because the visible collision shapes would have shown us a bunch of red dots, red triangles depicting where the collisions are taking place. The animation itself doesn't seem to be messed up. What happens if you disable the rigid body collision shape? I could do that as a test. The problem is that if I do that, I won't be able to interact with that item anymore until I add some additional features. But it's fine. We'll find a solution for it. But before we do that, however, I need to... I guess we're going to have a custom solution here. Insert hydrogen cell. So we need to set freeze to false. That's us, the player. Extract hydrogen cells. Also has some stuff. Okay. Func. Insert. Insert hydrogen cell finished. That's going to be for this. And then func. Extract hydrogen cell finished. Which is this one. A bit more involved. Which means we're no longer really using this animation finished. That's a little unfortunate. Okay. So, back here, animation player, insert hydrogen cell. Okay, got to make sure this happens before the end of the animation. Insert, yeah. Basically just calling that function to execute instead of using the animation finish signal. Extract hydrogen cell finished. This has to go here. Oh well. No big a deal. We'll get it done. Okay, let's see if it gives us back control. Hold on a second. Did I just goof up? Is it gonna save it? Yes, because we already have another custom method call track, so we must have saved it as a file. Okay. Boop. Grab. Insert. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Ignore it. Yes, okay. So that gives us back the control. Let me double check one more time the fuel cell animation. So we go here. Insert. Large. Okay. So that point, this point right here, that's not where it spazzes out. This point is when it actually moves away the item bone. And let's go. Come to think of it, I didn't really have to do this. This was only relevant within Blender. But either way, the point when it spazzes out is before we even do this, which is the let go animation. So let's see, this is fuel cell large. Okay, so we know that here we have a bone flying away at the point when the fingers start letting go. Okay, so fingers start letting go, that's when it flies away. We will see that the fuel cell spazzes out before the fingers even start letting go. Like before it even goes into the ship. If something... Well, if we can't figure it out, maybe I can run... Oh yeah, there we go. Maybe it's a blend. Blend trees messing with us. I wonder if it's possible to preview the blend tree. Like in real time. Let me double check. Let's see if this will actually run. No. Not by the looks of it. Like, I'm fairly certain it's not the swim animation messing around with it, because the hands seem like they're just continuing with what they were doing before. It almost seems like we can't insert... Oh, where'd they go? We can't insert the cell into the ship, which awfully much looking like a collision issue. Like, look, it's literally just stuck right on the edge of it, which, you know, the physics engine would prevent physics objects from going into one another. You know what? Screw it. Let's disable the collision shape and let's see if that will fix it. And if that will fix it, then we know where we have to look for it. Let's do let go. Not let go. No, let's do it when we instance it. Fuel cell receptacle insert. Freeze is true. And that's receptacle. That's... There we go. So we got a collision shape. Disable this true. And then, just for good measure, let's have this thing. Is it /R or /N? Collision shape, disabled. So it's going to print the disabled state. Okay. Hopefully, should be able to see both of them. Okay. So disabled is false, which means it's enabled. Click on that. True, true. Nope. It's not the collision shape. Now, the receptacle itself is a static body. It doesn't have any static elements inside of it after that. It does receive the fuel cell reference here. Now, clamp is for the animation. Which, by the way, we might actually have to run the animation a little bit earlier. Because by the time the animation plays, it's actually obscured, or a lot of it is obscured by the player camera position. So, let's go here. What do we do here? Fuel cell. We do change the collision layer. at collisions with player, but not with the receptacle. Okay. I swear, if this actually works. Nope. Okay, hold on a second. What if this worked before? The only thing that has changed is us using the animation tree. What if I just place a standalone receptacle and test with that? I will have to make sure that I don't exclude the owner, and that can stay. Okay, let's give that a test. So, sandbox. Come on. Load up the level now. Cool. I think it should be okay to just stay there by itself. Take. Interact. Nice. Oh, okay. So it's not a collision issue. When you detach it to remote transform, sometimes you have to force update after change remote transform remote path. Huh. That would be news to me. Okay, well, let's take a look. Rigid body 3D. Is there a function to force? 60 matches. Oh boy. Apply torque. It might... Oh. The thing is that it's not really... We're not detaching it yet. It spazzes out while it is still being held by the hand. It's a move and collide. Nice. Get access log, get collision exceptions. Right, it's in the remote transform. Right, but it doesn't let go of it. Like let's see. If I go into the script and then we go hydrogen cell insert, let go. We're gonna do print. And a whole bunch of nonsense. Actually, let's do print debug. There we go. That's gonna be nice and fat. Hydro let go. All right. And we got that annoying issue. The mysterious pop-up. Okay, so what we're going to see here is that it starts spazzing out before the hydro let go function gets executed. There we go. Spaz, 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 spaz. And now it's hydro let go. So hydro let go is when we actually clear the remote path. Right here. So it starts messing with us way before that happens. Now, let me do a quick test. What if I don't use the animation tree? We keep it inactive. And then hydrogen cell insert. Might just be an issue with the animation. Because we did have to rebake the animation. Okay, here we go. And then instead of doing this, we're going to go back to doing this, which is just playing the raw animation. Okay. Now, we should at least see this work. There we go. Ah! It is! It is the animation tree. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well. Okay. Why am I thinking that this is going to be a giant pain in the ass? Let's see. I know there's a checkbox here for deterministic animation. If false, blend does not use deterministic algorithm. The total weight is normalized in weight 1.0. If the number of tracks between blended animations is different, nothing is done about the animation that is missing a track. Why don't we just right there. Let's see this. Pick it up. Yup. Okay. So hydrogen large. Enable it. Okay, that's extract. We need insert. Yep. Yep. Okay. So, is there a chance that the issue is here? Insert hydrogen large. Oh boy. Okay, Control Shift O. We just have a bunch of extra animations here. All right, insert large. You know, Godot does have this little feature that attempts to optimize animations. Could it be that it has optimized my animation into Bolivian? And by Bolivian, I mean oblivion. Animation import, remove immutable tracks. If true, remove animation tracks that only contain default values. Reduces output file size, memory usage with certain 3D scenes. Trimming, FPS 30. I recall it was either here or they moved it. Generate LOD, choose tangents, create shadow meshes. Use named skins, animation, import. Okay, let's double check this. Keep custom tracks. Apply root scale. Huh. Okay, I don't see it. And then again. Ah, okay. Can't pan here? No. Can't preview bones either. That's not very it's not very handy. Animation player. Oh, optimizer. The hell with you. Compression. Max angular error. Although that might not be the same as this. Alright, let me double check. I just saw a whole bunch of frames appear. Oh boy. Okay. It's like, here you go, sir. Sorry to bother you. Didn't mean to break anything. Let's take a look. But here's the weird thing. If we play the animation player directly, it works fine. So is it really optimizing my stuff? Nope, it's not that. All right, you sort of go back to optimizing whatever you were optimizing. That's fine. So I guess the problem is with the blend trees. Something in here it does not like. Process idle. Process physics? Okay, hold on. Let's see if it's the bone that messes up. Let's give it a CSG box, I guess. Okay. Okay, so we see that. Okay. And we can't see that at all. Let's try elongating it. Sure. We just need to see something. Okay. Oh, yep, it is the bone that messes up. Any settings we can change here? No? Play mode forward. There is literally not a whole lot that I can do. Oh! Oh! You see that? You see that? It starts transitioning before it is done. You son of a bitch. I see you. Switch at end, you lying sack of shit. I told you to switch at the end. X fade time, 3 seconds. Maybe that's what... Let's see. No, that's how long it takes to switch. Okay. No. Oh... It's 3 seconds, so it's going to chew out 3 seconds from the end of the animation, because otherwise he can't transition. Yep. So, what? Am I supposed to leave a long-ass handle at the end of it? Like a 3-second tail within the animation? So that it has the time to blend? Well, that's not fun. Huh. Yeah, so this is the issue. Yep, 3 seconds. And then, but if I set it to 0, then it plays the insert animation. And then it will just immediately, like, yeah, just go to idle. What do we have available to us? We can play a particular animation. Okay, let's see here. So I'm going to set this to 0, this to 0, and this to 0. Okay. Let me preview the camera. Oh, okay, we don't have the camera preview mode. What is it called? Little camera something? Little camera preview. Yes. Download that plugin. And gotta enable it. Okay. And then pin it. And then we'll see what's happening here. So go back to tree. And then the insertion animation plays back. We put it in. Okay. So technically, at the very end of the animation, our hands leave the frame. So hypothetically, I could have an animation called hands down or hands out of frame. It will immediately jump to that animation, but hands out of frame animation will have maybe 3 seconds of time, so we'll blend between that and this. So instead of going straight for idle, it will jump into an intermediate animation, which can be blended over time because it's just like hands out of view. So it's a little janky, but that's the only solution I can think of. Let's go idle, duplicate, out of view loop. Okay, and then just get rid of this. Take that, take this. Ooh, not local axis, global axis. Just pull it down here. Keep your hands to yourself, sir. Bring this to 100 frames. Sure. Give us plenty of time. Protect it. And then action stash, idle 01. Go away. Push that in. Why are there pre-frames? Where are there pre-frames? Is it, oh, wrist L. Ah, right. Okay, we got to be careful about that. We have the deformed bones that have frames in them. They shouldn't have frames in them. Wrist twist. Lower arm. I'm just hiding all the bones again. Okay, good. So that stays down there. And then we push this. Beautiful. Let's get this exported. Oh, yes. And then we use Godot NLA. Engine, models, player, FPS hands. Seriously, there should be a feature to initiate blending with a final position from the end of the animation. Unless we can supply a negative value. That'll be kind of dumb, though. Okay. No big deal. Okay, come on. Blender. It's taking forever. There we go. Yep. Okay, beautiful. So, we're going to insert. Where is it? Out of view. There we go. That's the animation for out of view. We are going to take this travel immediate play mode. Okay. Sync. What is sync? New transition should auto advance. Okay, let's just do a test here. So this goes here. This will be 3 seconds transition. Okay. And then the switch is at the end. Actually, no, immediate. Yes. And then all of these, from these one-time events, these are going to be at end. And they will transition from the 0 seconds. So they will transition immediately. Okay. And then we do this. Insert. Okay. So, and then it goes back up here. 3 seconds. That was 3 seconds, right? Let's try that again. Insert. Just observing here. Immediate. And then 3 seconds goes back up here. Maybe 2 seconds will be enough. I think this should do it. Ah, there you go. That worked. Well, my camera kind of bugged out there for a second. We'll figure that out after. Okay. Nice. Okay. Okay. I think our camera has a bit of an issue here. When we do insert hydrogen cell, this is where the camera ends up, which is actually further back than when it started. Actually, it's not just the head, it's also the backbone. Okay, well that's more in the realm of animation shenanigans that we need to switch up and fix up. I think I know why I pushed it back so far. It's because the hand was in the way. Alright, that's fine. It is solvable. We just need to fix up the animation just a touch. Cool. That actually worked. Now, what is this synced transition that I'm seeing? Let's see. Can I duplicate this? Oh, I just duplicated 3 animation trees. Let's not do that. I guess not. Let's say insert hydrogen cell, and then it's going to be synced. Synced. Okay, so what does that look like? Okay, fascinating. Play mode forward. Let's do 3 seconds. Ah, so that starts immediately at the beginning. Right, not what we need, but at least now we know what it does. Cool. Cool. What's next? Next, we are almost 2 hours into this session. Let me double check the 3 receptacles, the 3 fuel cells. So our camera is like really close. Okay, so This is the small one. Okay, so this would be 147 frames. Small. Okay. Hands be doing the cucaracha over there. All right, let's get the smallest one. Oh, I might have to mess around with the velocity for swim. It's a little annoying. Okay, well that didn't do squat. This was the small one, right? Oh, that was the large one. Right, okay. We don't... The large one is probably going to be the most egregious one. Because it's a big receptacle. It's a big one. Okay. These bones don't exist anymore. Let's go 145. Yes, so this would be small. Yes. Hey, okay. Yeah, that works. Sure. Sure. What about the medium one? Can we get lucky with the medium one? Okay. Don't need this. 145. Which one's the medium? Is that the medium? Yes. Take the medium. Yeah, okay. I can feel a little bit of a collision there. Oh, where'd you guys go? This is the largest one, and this is the smallest? No, that's the largest one. Okay. We'll have to sort that out. At least it doesn't teleport the camera into it. Okay, let's see about making the closing animation play back a little bit sooner. Okay, so we have clamp on fuel cell. Which is when we play the animation. But that's not really when we want to play the animation. So, play, clamp, animation. Okay. And as a matter of fact, maybe this is where we would want to use a timer, like we did before. How long does it usually take for the player to insert something? Okay, so it goes in. So this looks like about 4.2 seconds. What are you building? Building an underwater game that's supposed to be desktop and flight stick compatible and VR compatible. If you wanted to play in VR. Project is inspired by Subnautica. Okay, so this is 4.2. The medium one. Yeah, 4.2. Let's go 4.4. 4.4 seconds. So let's go to receptacle. Timer. 4.4 seconds. One shot. Let's get a timeout signal, and I guess we can just would do it here. The more secure way to guarantee that it's being executed at the right time would be to link between the player animation and this, but I'm too lazy for that, so we're just going to do this. Let's do timer. So this is clamp timer. Pop it in here. And then start. I think that should make the clamp take hold of the fuel cell before the camera starts obscuring them. Okay. Let's do this one. Nice. Okay, maybe a little bit earlier. 4.2. Let's try this. Pop that in. In you go. Nice. Okay. I think that works. Yep. Let's disable visible collision shapes. And also, I think I might want to adjust swim. Swim forward. Let's dial that down to like 30. Okay, the problem is that it's in the animations though. Sure. I wanted to keep this with a property so that we could adjust. Maybe make explosions nudge the player in various directions. Although the function doesn't really support custom direction vectors. So we'd probably have to make something new anyways. Which means this is a little bit redundant. Okay. Sure. Now what am I testing? Right, testing the swim. Yeah, that works. It's a little bit more subtle. Right, we're not an underwater jet ski. Beautiful. Okay, does this work? What? Oh, right. Right. The the, the extraction is a little ugh, it's a little unfinished. Hold on. Extract grab. Extract fuel receptacle. Right, yeah, we're still playing the animation here. We need to tell it to travel. Now, there we go. What is this fart sound for? That was me. That was me goofing up on what's happening here. Weird timing. So Zoltan, is that some sort of a intercontinental fart you just announced? That's it's a long range one. All right, there we go. That's what I want. The hand is going through the receptacle. That's fine. We'll fix that later. And it gets added to our inventory. And now we can do this. Nice. Got work to do for a change. I know. How dare they pay you to do the job? Okay. Well, we now have hand animations. That's good. Okay, we can take this up. And this is where... Oh, yeah. We're gonna have to figure out how to hold something and swim. I'd say this is pretty good. Decent chunk of progress. Is there something that I can take off the list? Sideways back swimming animation, smooth transition to idle is done. Fix hand swimming in vessels, not done. We did a bunch of stuff that wasn't on the list, like debugging. That is smooth. I know, man. Ended up doing a little workaround to getting the scripted events to blend in back into the idle state, and then the idle state has our idle just standing still and then swimming two-dimensional blend space. Not bad. Not Philippine bad. Okay, now there's a bunch of stuff that I wanted to do. There's a bunch of stuff that I wanted to do today, like getting to shallow waters, as the name of the previous stream has implied that I was gonna do, and that I ended up battling out the flippin' animation tree. Thank God it's my fault, because if it was the engine issue, I'd be like, damn it. Well, that's not gonna be great, knowing how long it takes to fix engine issues. Okay, cool. Why don't we do this? I will take a break. And maybe for an hour. It's been an hour to 2 hours, so we did some pretty decent progress. We'll come back and continue slapping the things off the list. Cool. Alright, fellas. Appreciate the company. We'll be back.